Вот. Теперь будем пробовать. История. Нормальная.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Что за чудик?
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line.
Ага.
Disgraceful.
Угу. Ну так я... выбрать. Надо же выбрать что-то, да?
If you wanted to steal from the rich, you've come to the right colony. You are going to paint this system red, my friend.
Техник по подаче на бюрократ, младший кассир, строитель, электрик, специалист по управлению, заводской рабочий, конвейер, уборщик, пятноудалитель, талисман. Чё за...
You're so much more than your designated profession.
Мужской. Вот так вот. Вот. Чепушил. О. Что за... будем. Как вас зовут? Чу? Дела.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
В смысле, он, получается, одного разбудил и улетел?
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Терра 2.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down to 90%. Skip drive.
Shit.
Deactivated.
А, он с собой
there you
забрал.
are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out
А что ты закрыл меня?
and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you
Нет.
and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
Че? Ничего не понятно, но очень интересно.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
You've landed. Good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste.
Это типа
Hawthorne won't
обучалка,
mind you
да?
taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the pouch.
Подожди-ка, а можно Нельзя, да? Ладно.
Be on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Ctrl присесть, как во всех играх. Shift бег, да? Чтобы скрыться от врага, используйте высокую траву. Вы ничего не видите. Вы ничего не видите. Шо?
You see now, you've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Ой. А.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take it. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life.
Свое оружие выстрелило в бочину. Да как надо оружие держать?
Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those
Оленька,
canisters by
привет.
the entrance? I'll come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
Хай-левельный персонаж. У меня тоже там кто-то был, по-моему.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting bullets. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice.
Хай-левельный, хай-левельный. О, теперь у нас есть пушка. А как это надо? А что, это взорвать надо будет, да?
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Чего? Шпрыз. Шпрыса. Блин, в горле першит. Что происходит? Тактическое замедление времени. Из-за осложнений, возникших при вашем пробуждении после длительной гибернации, ваш мозг начал тактического замедления времени Т3Б. Чё, ТАП, да? Все вокруг. Так вот, даже принять необходимую. Вы можете находить лишь некоторая шкала, да, она расходится очень, если стоять неподвижно, куда быстрее стоит помочь. На Q. Да? Ой. А я их обыскать могу? Что там у них есть? О. Это что такое? Взлом компьютеров. Эту игрушку, кстати, мне Димас советовал еще где-то полгода назад. Говорит, попробуй поиграть, говорит. Ой, тут можно поспать даже. А где эти мертвецы? А у него и нет ни хрена, да? О. Не знаю, я вот только скачал ее. Оль, я только запустил, это начало самое. Вообще не понимаю, что тут надо делать. Какой-то псих, короче, доктор меня из криосна, короче, вытащил. Вот я и это. А я тут теперь шастаю и... Короче говоря... Что-то тут надо делать, короче. Отлично, да, сказал? Что-то тут надо делать. Как у меня все болит. О, какой-то корабль. О. Нет. У них не написано, что они мародеры. Это значит свои чуваки.
Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad.
Почему он пишет у меня такую категорию? Сейчас, секунду. Я
Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son.
Господи.
You think? Most marauders can't even talk. Criminals do attract other criminals by their own nature. You know
Мы
what?
соврали.
You're right. It's time we cross those
Накапали ей
marauders off,
на уши.
find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Чё, куда мы? Все? Что они там убили, все?
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
Так, а нам куда? А, вон.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Gesture procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Prepare to eject all boarded parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to
Капец.
express disappointment. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience.
Господи, сейчас бы еще с компьютером
I
разговаривать.
am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? I understand. You are speaking metaphorically. You wandered outside this ship and experienced a permanent, life-changing encounter. The old you is dead. Welcome back, Captain Hawthorne. I extend felicitations and congratulations on your life-changing experience. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced.
Что это такое летит там? Вертолет.
Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the
Безнадежный
registered
корабль.
proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you
Жесть.
understand? Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Так, тап. Это что такое? критического удара напарника, ценного торговца, опыт, быстрый. Давай, короче, здоровье возьмем. Чуть-чуть больше здоровья.
The navigation console is offline at this time, Captain.
Так, а что нам надо сделать? А, вот же показано. Куда-то надо сходить, короче говоря. Сходить и... Куда, где стрелки есть?
Say,
Эй,
this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister,
домой,
you owe
мой,
Spacer's
уже
Choice a
мой.
hefty fine. I'm afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Ой. Подожди, что такое? Да ладно. Где-то вот здесь был, да? А где он? Эй. Я хочу его обыскать, а где он? Бля, он пропал. Ну и ладно.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from?
Вроде ничего, такая игрушка. Че нам сначала туда, да?
The grease monkey, Argo? Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the transformer. keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers.
Дезертиры, мародеры.
I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. So.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Это она со мной теперь будет постоянно. Подожди.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Ну пошли. Иди сюда. Ну сюда иди. Идешь? А, ну вот. Что такое X? Что такое Z? Z, что такое? Это что такое? Ой. Стесняюсь. Он маячок появился. Она... А где она? А, о, появилась. Что такое X? Персонаж. Дневник, карта, а вот порвать. Почему у нее урон выше, чем у меня? Понял. Это мародеры или кто? Ты дерешься? Нет, женщина.
That's the last of 'em. Here we go.
В смысле?
Watch out. There they go.
А что, у нас порвать и хилиться не умеет, да? Ты где? А.
Sorry. You just here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Что за Z? Что это такое?
Heading back. Coming back. Be right there.
В смысле, он зовет ее за собой, да, Z? А, у нее здоровье регенится потихонечку, да? О. Даже я туда иду? Туда, да.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble.
О.
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here.
Чё у
Move
них у
along.
всех лица такие страшные?
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
Убить ее, что ли?
Much obliged.
you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcome here. Any questions, dear? Really? Now that you mention it, you don't have the look of an indentured laborer about you. Not nearly enough despair in your eyes.
Hi, Miss McDevitt.
Parvati, are you still in the custom of collecting flowers? You're welcome to take your pick. I do apologize for visiting upon your intentions.
Короче, вся игра состоит из разговоров, да? И все это нужно читать каждый раз.
You should try some of my tobaccorn tea.
Жесть.
I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been
Но без этого никак.
Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the
И кого вырубать?
Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
А тут прохода нет или есть? О. Пойдем. Потом это все, наверное, продать можно будет, да? Бабосики, чтобы были. Надо все собирать. Слушай, вот здесь вот здание, вот эти двери, все закрыто, да, тоже? Мне кажется, ли темнеет? Браслет? А что за браслет? Подожди. Кибернацион. Медицинские технологии плюс 5. Броня 9. Броня 3. Надо будет... ну это стоит у нас, да? Все, пойдем. Ближний бой. Тоже поднимем немножко. Умение напарника, умение напарника. Escape. Подожди, порвайте. А что у него по броне? 7. На тебе вот это. На тебе вот это. Да? А можно нам как-нибудь это открыть? Кто там? Алло. Кто в нее там стреляет? Я все патроны израсходовал, да? Ладно. Снаряжение. Легкая штурмовая 180. Урон 18, 28. Немножко непонятно. Что за торговец? Ну. Черт, а там броня была, которая получше, да?
Hope we're doing the right thing.
А куда нам тут? ПЖ. Нам, по-моему, в ту сторону. А где моя Парвати? Парвати что-то знакомое. Парвати. Где же это было? Как будто с какой-то киношки взяли. Парвати. Пошли.
3 switches. Probably easy enough.
О, Господи. Ввести пароль. Какой пароль ввел? Я же ничего не вводил. А, этот пароль, наверное, который этот дал, да?
Everyone all right? Nice one.
Ты-то что села? Пошли.
Sister.
Two more. What'll happen to Miss McDevitt's folk if we send power to the Veil?
Пошли. Пойдем сначала туда сходим.
Not real. You're not real. No, no, no. Just leave me alone.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Что такое? Да ладно. А что здесь типа вот так вот только мародеры и роботы и все? Че нам куда дальше? Куда нам дальше? Наверное, туда, да? Да уйди ты. А чё, она умерла, что ли? Патроны кончились. О, она ожила. У меня подружка бессмертная. Подожди, а куда нам идти? Нам, наверное, наверх, да, надо? Куда-то. Пойдем дальше. Так, подожди. А нам же нужно куда-то наверх показывает. А, вот. Нет, это не то. Или то. Вот отсюда может быть. Вот туда, да?
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
Сейчас, минутку.
if you're sure. I had to ask.
И все, пошли. Здесь где-то, да? Подожди. Позже, вот. Я надеюсь, я не ошибся. Куда нам там идти? О. Это нормальная, вообще адекватная, а? В упор стоит и бьет. А где тут выход? Покажи. А, с той стороны был, да? Забор сломанный. Так, блин, сейчас. Вот у них должны быть... Эй, ты чё за чудовище? Ой. Энергетическое оружие. А у меня его нету. Место аварии. Угу. Нам выгодно, короче, убивать мародеров, потому что потрошки потихонечку легкие на пистолетик копятся потихонечку. А мне сейчас люлей не дадут? То, что я в ботанический сад отправил этот энергию, они этот не к этим чудикам. По-моему, мне всекут, да? Так. куда-то вон туда, да?
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters, plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? That power regulator is company property. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you.
Закрыто. Так, стоп. По одной штучке и дальний бой, наверное, да? Применить, порвать. Средний. Escape. Охране велено стрелять. Чё? У них должно быть потрошки. По-любому. Кто стреляет? Ой, иди нафиг, блин. Способности. А, еще дали? Что, тебе тоже надо убивать, да? Рид, зачем ты это сделал? Ты бы выжил. Че ты стоишь? Пошли, мать. Нам пора уходить. В смысле запечатано? А. Пошли. Да, корабль. Мы же доставали, чтобы улететь. Это что такое? А.
I used to skip rocks in the river, so Constable Reyes ticketed me for unlicensed. Terraforming. I bet she was jealous. She doesn't want to skip rocks in the river.
А чё, с этими тоже драться надо будет, да, наверное? Или как? Где эти чудики, которые здесь были? Порвать.
Is this your ship?
Господи.
Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back in my post. Well, because I've been thinking about what happens next. So much has changed since you walked into town. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Так, теперь.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edge... What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering is invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Что, верстак? Я что-то крафтить могу еще, да? Я что-то могу крафтить. Модифицировать. Починить. Ой. Эй. Боже, какой из них был 180, вот 215, правильно, да? Это вот этот или какой? Боже. Ну вот, правильно, на двойке, которая. Опять
What
трындеть?
can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
А почему у меня название
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
трансляции какой-то? Я понял, но пусть будет.
Aha, there you are, hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain, horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Coates, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Черный рынок, там оружие будет.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming.
Там будет оружие по-любому.
By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design. Cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
В смысле, а где здесь навигационный терминал? Вот он. Где?
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
Can we chat?
У меня только один.
That's not the point. This hack would just knock out one of my workers.
Все, что плохо лежит, надо забрать. Двигайся.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Потрошки. А сколько у меня денежек? Подожди.
Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Just the opposite. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations here. If I had to take a guess as to why, you probably riled up the wrong petty board bureaucrat. A man named Udom Bedford. You take the starch out of him, well, you won't get any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Сейчас я лекарство выпью.
Be seeing you.
Лекарство надо пить вовремя. Ой.
What do you think you're doing? Just be careful next time.
Подожди. Как интересно. жить, да? Зато мы пришли куда? Верстак, вот.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from my...
Here we go again. No one lives on Earth. It's a wasteland.
Not
You're hearing
so
things.
fast.
No.
What do you think you're doing? I'm done playing.
А чего вас так много? Короче, воровать нельзя, да? Это где я? Понял. Блин.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled
Ой, извиняюсь.
Millions of acid and sulfur rays are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals.
Короче, я пришел не туда, да?
And unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our vital.
Какая-то дверца тоже есть. О.
Rizzo's Purpleberry Punch. Mr. Rizzo's Lemon Slap. Slap your whole family tonight.
А что такое? А, это гранатомет вообще.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient or an oven. Just like store-bought. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. I've got a lovely little throw pillow. Just something I toss together. Like to keep my hands busy.
What do you think you're doing? All right, fine. Get out of here.
Ладно, ушли.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Подожди. Подожди, нет. В ту сторону. Там еще какой-то квестик есть.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? That's how you know your weapon loves you back. I got a full line of weapon modifications I'd be happy to show you.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastard.
Здрасте.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. and you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped? Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he? Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me, how did he die? No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Devoured by those fiends. Becoming one with their droppings. Fine. You're free to go. I've removed the impound order on your ship. But before you go, I did
Господи,
have
все
one
что-то
request.
просят.
Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with? Be my guest. Good law! Who'd want to go to that toxic hell pit? Ask away.
Так, здесь мы пообщались. Там у нас тетенька была. Нам надо туда уходить.
Board rep's office used to be in the docking bays.
Rizzo's Purpleberry. Around a sweet purpleberry flavored center.
А это мы на корабль возвращаемся, да? Получается. Ой.
Hey, you got a second? Hey, we don't know each other yet, but I'm Felix Millstone. I was in the middle of a little discussion with the local authorities when you passed me by.
Ты хочешь в мою
I noticed
команду?
your ship in port. Got to thinking you might be looking for some crew, so I wandered by. just to take a closer look. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only thing it's missing is me. Yes, I absolutely am. Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you ever hired. Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thanks, boss. You're not going to regret this.
Пошли.
Where are we headed today, Captain? The stars are the limit.
Что там происходит? Даже голографический плащ. А, нет.
Make yourself at home, Captain.
Это куда ведет? Это что такое? Это каюты, что ли, типа? Уже расселся. Ой. Порвать и этого берем, правильно? Продолжить. Обоих забираем.
Can we talk? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson? Oh, no, it can wait. Sorry. What do you need?
You see we had a conveyor pull in?
Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard life.
The old rest and go.
Я не понимаю, зачем мы снова к ней идем. Да я лазил по мусоркам.
It's almost time for today's episode of The Chairman's Children. Care to listen with me? Yes, dearie? Take that darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress signal I told you about came from, and ferret out some tasty corporate secrets for old Gladys.
Roseway.
Shouldn't be too tough for a fella like you, I'd think.
Roseway.
What do you want, then? My hard-earned wisdom? That's right, dearie. The only independent station in the colony. That's us. Though for how long, I can't say. That all depends on Miss Junlei.
А мне нужно общаться и общаться с ней, да?
Straight to the point, eh? All right then, on you go. Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I buy and sell items that require discretion to dispose of. Knickknacks. Curios. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players. but that's more of a passion project.
I'm not sure that's entirely legal.
That's half the reason I make them, my dear. But that's not what you wanted to talk about, is it, dear? Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch desperate to gobble you up. Because that's
На
what the
монархе
board tells them,
чудовище.
you see. I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony, and they're trying to hide the evidence. Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never want you looking behind the curtain, lest you see their derrieres. But old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much more than a diorama, showcasing one board screw-up after another. That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on Groundbreaker. She's our mess. Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Edna shows them to me. Some man hooting and hollering about the light in us all. Claims he's transmitting from Monarch, but who knows if that's true. Might be true. Might be some new trick from the board. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you. Gracious. I was just sitting down for tea. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me.
Так, единственный значок это у нее. Все, уходим на корабль, получается. Ой, это вон туда.
Heading back.
Have either of the assault cruisers ever put into ground?
Welcome back. Do wipe the blood and space dust from your feet in the entry.
На монарх? Подожди, а он же не указан квестом.
Thank you.
Еще мозг плавиться начнется.
Hey, be careful with those crates, huh? My cargo's worth a lot of...
Опять меня к ней направляет.
Rizzo's knock you out bar. A CCN 76 more Thunderlock.
This is how we interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Some townships have asked Halcyon News to make a statement regarding rumors.
you think you're doing? Ah, just be careful next time.
Угу.
Great law, is it hot in here? Or is it just my glands acting up again? Won a charming copper kettle off that girl who runs the pub. She's a fierce arm wrestler, but she's no match for your pal Gladys. If you're here for this week's magazine club meeting, touch me. Yes, dearie? Take that darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress signal
Розовой
about came from.
дороги-то туда
And
нету.
ferret out some tasty corporate secrets for old Gladys. Shouldn't be too tough for a fella like you, I'd think. Straight to the point, eh? All right then, on you go. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Huh?
What was that?
What do you think you're doing?
Heads up, boss!
Простите, простите.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Wave saga. Message from Dr. Wells. He'd like to congratulate you on finding a route to Monarch.
Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Culp Kelly. You'll need to speak with Hiram Blythe. He's known as the information broker, and for good reason. If anyone knows where I can find those chemicals, it's Hiram. I need those chemicals to revive the Hope's colonists. They can help us fight back against the Board. They can help us set things right.
If we don't put a stop to the board, they're going to drive this colony toward a complete societal collapse. You'll see what I mean when you arrive on Monarch. You'll want to hire the services of a skilled guide. I recommend a hunter by the name of Nyoka. Frequents the drinking establishments of Stellar Bay. Very hard to miss. Once you have everything you need, make your way to Hiram Blythe's compound. Best of luck. Everyone on the Hope is counting on you.
Captain, an unusual wavelength is coming through Monarch's aether wave frequencies.
The eternal is in us all. The OSI would have you believe that your place in society, indeed in the universe, is preordained. A man who works in the mines of Hephaestus, coating his lungs in mercury dust for not but a few bits a night. This fate is set in stone? When he dies young, coughing up black blood, his part in the grand plan? No, I say. Greatness is in everyone. Not just those so fortunate as to have been born into prosperity.
That was unexpected and odd. I am inclined to agree with your assessment.
Так, ладно, будем сохраняться. Что-то с этой болезнью я немного не того. Чуть попозже продолжим прохождение. Все, ускакал.